I was getting deep into this, and the damn camera got too hot. Sun had heated it up, so it shut down. So I want to finish this though, because we were onto something. How do you find your tailor-made path back to God? Because it's tailor-made, it's individual. Nobody can like give you their path. You know, this is the thing. Something feels so right for somebody that then they think it must be for the whole world. Just must be. It just feels so right. Can't you see like that this is the way it is? The other person's like, no, I'm not feeling that at all. Oh, well, you need to surrender more. No, it's not that. It's that like that's not my path. Like I don't have a connection or a natural inner feeling for what you're talking about. No, you're like missing something. You're no, you're missing something. You're being arrogant and ignorant and thinking one path is for everybody. You see. So you know, man, I had this was my friend. She was my friend for 35 years. She just left the body last year from cancer. I hadn't seen her. Well, we hadn't really talked because I've been gone so long from the country. But she picked me up from the airport. We hadn't had a good talk in probably 25 years or something. So she picked me up from the airport. And it's about 2 hours to take me back home. And also, we stopped and ate. Man, we didn't miss a beat. We just flow, you know. And then we got into she had found she got into Christianity uh, at a certain point in her life. I felt comfortable enough with this woman that I was like, okay, I'm gonna get into this. Let's get into this in a nice way though. And I was checking. I started talking about like Hinduism. I started talking about just all the different pathways back to God, basically. I wanted to see. It was a little. I didn't feel there was much risk, but you know, sometimes there's risk when you talk to the people who are a little too hell bent on one particular religion or something, or not even religion. It can just be anything that works, that they feel works for them, at least in the moment. You don't know later. You can broaden. You can become more inclusive rather than exclusive. You will be actually at some point. Jesus was. It's totally. You think if Buddha came and saw Jesus, that Jesus gonna be like, no, but it's my way. No, they both would enjoy each other for sure. There would be unity. So I asked her. We were getting down to it. You know, I'm like, what was it that made you like why don't you consider these other things? Why do you only focus on like whatever, Catholic or Christian or and she's the only one I've ever met that told the truth. I was like so happy about that. I like just thinking about it. Because she's honest, man. She's honest. She says, listen, this works for me. I'm paraphrasing. Basically, why do something else if this is working so good? Like this works for me. She says, I know that there's other ways and such. I'm not so naive to think like this is the only way. She says, but it works for me. I'm like, totally, man. It's like I like my car, Toyota Camry. And if somebody comes up and says, look, man, but there's a real badass car, you got to go see it. I think you'll like that better. I'm like, I'm good. I got my car. Or if you're in a relationship, your partner, you synergize with, you love them, and then somebody says, no, but you got to meet this other girl or guy. Like you have to meet. I don't have no interest though, man. Like I'm good. Like why? You see. So basically, that's what she was saying, and I respected that. I'm like, you're lucky. You're lucky you found something that really works for you because most people don't. Oh yeah, this is the topic, right? How do you find what works for you? Which your thing? First, by realizing this is the purpose of what was been shared so far, that there is no one way. There's no one way. You can't intellectually or mentally try to pick what your mind ascertains to be the best way. That doesn't. It doesn't work like that. We're talking on a level that's way beyond mind. We're trying to find the source that created the mind. How the mind is going to help find that. You try things. You keep trying them. It's what you do. That's what I did. I tried things. I tried everything. All the different religions and different spiritual practices and everything. I tried everything. What's for me? What's for me? By trying these things at some point, and you clean your life up. This is what the other video is about. They got to go together. I mean, for me, that's the most efficient way. Are there exceptions? There's always exceptions. But I can only share what worked for me. The more that my lifestyle was clean, the easier I could hear this whisper from God or my own inner sanction guiding me what to do. Go ahead, try this. So what's my spiritual practice, or what's my way in? I don't know. I don't have a word for it. I like everything. I'm very in the moment and intuitive as to how I'm being guided in that moment. Sometimes I pray, sometimes I meditate, sometimes I do the yoga asanas, sometimes I do the pranayama. I like the breathing. Sometimes I don't do it as a ritualistic thing. Because then it goes the other way. Then grace says, stop that. Like this, you don't need to do that. It's not for your constitution. What else do I do? Karma yoga. Sometimes I do karma yoga. I see what making videos is karma yoga. It's a very meditative state when I'm doing what I'm doing here. There's no thinking. I'm not thinking about anything. I'm not thinking at all. I have no idea what I'm going to say. It's totally spontaneous. I get more meditative in this than if I sit down and meditate. I talk to God. I talk to God all the time. Maybe not even verbally, but my mind and intention is on the divine, whatever that means. To you, what does it mean to me? It means I'm listening to this whisper. I've discovered that the divine is a whisperer, and it's telling me, like, I'm just open. Sometimes I don't hear anything. Sometimes I hear something. Sometimes, like, it's abstract. I don't really know what it's saying. That's cool. But your attention and openness to being willing to listen, this is all you need. This is all that matters. I don't want the phone to get hot again. That's my main spiritual practice, if I had to condense it, if I had to describe it somehow, is I keep listening. I keep being as open as often as I can remember throughout the day of just that. And sometimes it can be I'm just sitting here and I'm just listening without trying. It's more opening. I'm just kind of open, like listening. Sometimes I do, like I said, yoga asanas, and I listen to bhajans, or maybe I'll listen to Sri Anandamayi Ma, one of her lectures that have subtitles in English. I like Papaji. I like Mooji, some of his older videos. I think he's tired now of talking. He used to think, I would hear him saying, I didn't really understand. He'd say, look, I don't want to hear, some people don't like Mooji. There's all different opinions out there. I'm not interested. But he would say, why do some of these saints say it takes 100,000 or 1,000 or 1,000,000 lifetimes to wake up? I'm like, what do you mean? Have you talked to the average person? This is the thing when there is a big sudden shift that happens spontaneously, then sometimes you don't know the process of, like, the subtleties that have to take place in one's being before you can say they're ripe enough or conscious enough or aware enough to hear this divine voice. This is why we need good lifestyle habits, because it's all being filtered through on some level. It's got to kind of go through the mental and emotional body and the physical body, because the physical body is what's housing the mental and emotional body. Like those things, as best as you can anyway, need to be in a certain semblance of balance. Now, some might say, and I know all about this, so I can talk on it, like, what if you got a chronic illness or chronic disability or chronic pain or chronic neurological problem or chronic whatever? Chronic and degenerative means There's probably nothing out here going to touch it on an external level. That means it's the kind of here to stay, especially if it's chronic enough. What do you do then? Listen to this voice. Get rid of the conditioning that tells you, like, you have to be able to do this or you have to be able to do that. Oh no, but I know people like this. I've done groups. People they're like bedbound 95% of the time. It's a celebration when they can just take a shower, if they can do it once a week. What do they do? Are they screwed? No. Listen to this divine voice. You don't need to do any stereotypical practices to get to the divine. The divine's already in you, meaning you don't need to do anything special to get aware, to become more unified with it. You have to do what this voice is telling you to do. And nobody's exempt from being able to connect with this voice if they're willing. That's the other thing. If you're willing. There's some people they're not willing, but there's no need to even touch on that because the videos aren't for them. They're watching, music videos or how to make money or something. But we're talking about what I feel is the highest purpose for a human being even existing here. So you get rid of all this conditioning, shoulds and should nots and this and that, and you listen to what this is telling you. And if it's not telling you anything, you feel like then it's not time to be told anything. That's cool. Then you just make your next move. What's your next move? Maybe it's to go eat some fruit or go for a jog or go for a walk or something. It doesn't have to be spiritual. The mind says, I want to know the spiritual recipe now. I want to be awake now. Yeah, well, who cares what your mind wants? The mind isn't running this show. Be okay with not knowing right now, because that blocks when we get impatient in the name of awakening. It seems very noble, but no, it's an obstruction. Go about your life. You're doing what you do. Your life force is guiding you. You're supposed to go to work and make money to take care of some things. This is what you're doing. Don't worry, like, oh no, but I need to be able to get away for a year and be in seclusion. No, this is a mind trip. I don't know what my spiritual practice should be. That's okay. Be open to let that be revealed to you. And then be patient as far as the time frame of when that gets revealed to you. Have faith that will get revealed to you. And like I say, you can try some things. Just try some things, whatever that is for you. Try some things. Just sit down and say, look, God, if I'm open to hearing if you can tell me something to try right now to have more of a conscious contact with you. If something comes, okay. If something doesn't come, okay. You see? Don't have demands. You have forever. I was in the ashram when I was 24 or something. Two guys were arguing about something. Another guy walked by and said, well, you have forever, man. Don't worry about it. That can be used as an excuse or as a justification to just procrastinate, or it can bring some relaxation also. It can be a higher thing too. It's like, oh yeah, I need to chill a little bit. Like, okay. It's not like life or death, It's always a balance. Balance between effort in waking up to your true nature, at the same time being totally patient with it and just chill. I tell some people we do private sessions. There, a few. Depends who I'm talking to, but if they're too overzealous about what am I doing wrong? What do I need? I say, bro, just stop. Go watch a movie or go for a walk or something. Forget about spirituality. It's not time, because it's your mind doing it too much. You need to relax a little bit. When that time comes for you to contemplate these subjects, it comes naturally. You might need to focus on lifestyle habits for a while and just kind of get back in balance with that, and then the spirituality will come. Or maybe spirituality comes first, and then that gives you the motivation to and the wisdom to I need to tighten up my lifestyle a bit so that then I can get better downloads. We don't know. Somebody left in a comment, said, just talk about spirituality. Once they realize their true nature, they'll know what to eat and what to do. I said, yeah, okay, but it goes both ways. It's not so easy. Sometimes you can't recognize your true nature until you do these earthbound, give some attention to earthbound level habits to balance your gunas more, so that then you can receive some downloads that about what your true nature is. Like the two go together. This is why I've wrote books on all that. I have the autobiography book, and then the preserving your sexual energy book, because this is huge. True health book is coming, and because those are all practical lifestyle application and habits in that. And then spiritual book, that because it all ties in together. And then I have the fun book for people who do psychedelics, plant medicine. And there you go. All right. Well, I'm going to go before this thing gets hot again. That would suck if I get all the way. Okay, we're good. I'll see you.